Peace, citizens of the World Wide Web. It's your boy, Mr. 13, and I'm back with another edition of The Sit Down. Today I got photographer, entrepreneur, artist, overall creative joining me, Deserie Gelfand. Gelfand. See, she's going to have to correct me with a few words during the interview, but Deserie. A.K.A. Deserie. Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. Really a pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, thank you for joining me. Start off, we met at your photography studio.
Pixel de Moi.
Which was, we just realized was over 5 years ago.
Well, actually, it was since 2015.
No.
Yeah, so it's been about 8 years.
8 years.
That we kind of know each other, our friendship.
All right, so we haven't seen each other for 4 years.
We haven't seen each other for about 4 years.
But we've known each other for 8 years.
Yes.
See, time flies.
Time flies. You know, COVID made things go slow and then fast all of a sudden again. So, yeah. So I'm excited to be here and see you in your element.
I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So we met 8 years ago at your studio, Pixel de Moi.
Shout out to Jess Hayes, who introduced us.
That's right. That's right. And you were the creative director of the photo studio that we were working out of.
Correct.
So what is it that got you into photography?
You know, I've been in photography since high school, but I think the epic moment for me was when I was young, I met my dad through a photo.
Okay.
So I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he looked like. And my mom was like, you're going to spend the summer with your dad in Puerto Rico, and he's going to pick you up from the airport. Thanks, Mom.
Wow.
And I had no idea what he looked like, and she had this one photo of him. Yes. And so the whole ride, I looked at the photo. And I think growing up, I just never forgot that moment. Mm-hmm. And it was so important to me to continue to look at that photo for that 2.5 hour ride. And it just was very touching to me. Yeah. So it just stuck with me. It resonated with me how powerful a photo can be.
So when you got off the plane, did you recognize your father right away, or was it like...
Well, the stewardess walked me. I was really young, and the stewardess walked me, and then he's like, you know, he recognized me. I don't know how he recognized me, but he recognized me. And then it took me a little minute, and I looked at the photo, I looked at him, I looked at the photo, looked at him, and then I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is him. And then he was so embracing and so hugging that I was like, I thought it was awkward. I remember thinking this is awkward, but okay, this is him. Yeah, this is him. Cool.
Yeah. So ever since then, you've had a thing for photos.
Yeah, I've noticed the power of what photography can do, for sure.
When was the first time you picked up a camera?
High school.
High school.
Okay. I wanted to take pictures of everybody, and at that time I didn't have like a real camera, so I had those box cameras. Yeah. We all know who they were. Like,
was that like the instant
Kodak cameras? And so I was known for buying those cameras, and I was always taking them. Yeah. And obviously it's not digital, so you have no idea what the quality of the picture was, but that's where I started.
Wow. I took a bunch of instant pictures too. I started off taking pictures of graffiti.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then we're aging ourselves here. So were you doing the hour development, or did you have to wait 24 hours?
I was doing the hour development.
Okay.
Right. Because I took pictures of a lot of cute boys.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to see what they look like in the pictures. And so, yeah. It was fun.
So the kids out there, if they're listening to this, they have no idea what we're talking about, because now it's instant gratification. They just take a picture, they see it on the screen.
Well, now you can do it on your phone, and now you have the DSLR cameras where you can see your actual picture and keep it on your memory card. Yep. We didn't have that back then.
Nope.
No, so they're kind of lucky.
We had to wait an hour. Oh, well, before that, 24 hours. Remember, you had the 24 hours?
Now
one?
I shoot film, and you have to wait 10 days to get film developed.
So you're shooting film now?
I still shoot film.
Okay.
And it's 10 days, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, that's
the world that we're in right now, but it's true.
That's a long wait, 10 days. Yeah. That's a lot of patience.
It is, but it's fun.
So when you first started taking pictures, were you developing film yourself?
No.
In high school?
No. I actually haven't ever developed film.
Okay.
I'd love to learn. I think that's something I just haven't gotten into yet.
Okay.
But no.
Have you had the chance to like be in a dark room at all?
I have been in a red room before, and I have seen it come to fruition. Like, you know, it's been really cool to see it come together. But it's also a complicated step, and it takes a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like my DSLR a little bit.
Yeah.
And the film, I send it out, but, you know, there's different reasons why I like film.
When I was in high school, I worked for film, and I was in the, I guess it's a red room, not a dark room.
Yeah, red
room. All right, see, correcting me already. So that was fun. I mean, you put it like into the chemicals, but like emulsion chemicals, and then you had to. There was 2 baskets.
There's always 2 baskets and a bunch of pins, and you pick up the paper and you hang it, and you let the picture dry.
Yeah, so I did that in high school, and that was dope, and I loved it. And that's how I got into photography.
See, you studied high school photography. That's
great.
I
had a class in it. I was doing the instant cameras and taking pictures of graffiti, but then that opened my eyes to wider opportunity of photography. But then I just never explored it after that. I kind of lost touch with it.
But you didn't lose touch with your graffiti because it's on your hat right now.
Yeah, it's on my hat. So you also mentioned that you stopped for a minute doing photography.
Yes.
Why was it that you stopped?
Well, I was doing it in high school, and I became a mom early. And so it was time for me to nurture and take care of my child, my son, my firstborn son. Yeah. Shout out to Brandon. And just take care of him and, make sure I was being a good mom. So kind of what I wanted to do versus what I had to do. Yeah. So what I wanted to do took a back seat. What I had to do took the front seat.
Yeah. So what you had to do took the front seat, and while you were in the front seat, you developed skills in business. Like
Absolutely.
You were a paralegal. What were some of the things that you did?
So I worked at a linguistics company. Okay. I was a coordinator for linguistics, and I also worked at a law firm as a paralegal. So yeah, I learned to do contracting. I learned to do customer service, and I learned to get an edge on what business people like and how they talk and how they work with, how to maneuver yourself and conduct yourself, how to have a good conversation, how to make deals. And so that has all been helpful even in photography now, for sure.
And while you were, doing these things, was photography still on your mind?
Always. Yeah. Photography has always been on my mind. Yeah. It has been like, I am the girl that, looks at the Vogues and the Elle magazines and the GQ magazines. And it's not necessarily to find out what's going on in the world. It's just kind of see like who's wearing what, what does the makeup look like, and what are the pictures and how far do they take it. So, yeah.
Do you remember any of the covers that might have stood out for you?
A lot of covers stood out. Like, all of the Cindy Crawford covers stood out. Like, swimsuit magazines were like great. And, right now I'm into like Jack Bridgeland with the GQ magazine of Kim Kardashian and kind of giving her that masculine, quote unquote, masculine look. And so that was pretty epic right now. But there's a lot of photography that I still love and a lot of covers I remember.
Is that the cover where they named her Man of the Year?
Yes, that is the cover where they made her man. I mean, but she's like she's eating a bag of cheese doodles. Yeah. Like Cheetos. Like every girl eats Cheetos. Yeah. So to have it in a picture and it be an editorial picture, how cool is that? Like,
it's cool. I know a lot of men out there are not happy with this Man of the Year title.
You can't make everyone happy.
I know. I mean, well, if they could give Caitlyn Jenner Woman of the Year, right?
Absolutely. Then why can't Kim Kardashian be Man of the Year? But we live in a very open-minded world. Yeah. So, people just have to kind of just let go a little bit.
Yeah. And is right in the same family. I don't know. They might have paid for those titles.
Maybe.
I don't know. Their mother's known for, putting up these promotional campaigns.
She's a powerhouse, man. Yeah. Don't talk about her. She's a powerhouse, man.
Kris Jenner, she gets busy. She's a serious business.
About the Kardashians, but they are a powerhouse.
She's serious business. Yeah.
They're a powerhouse.
She creates couples, breakups couples.
I would love to have that opportunity. Yeah. Like just, as a photographer and a creative, to be working with the designers that they work with the makeup artists, with all of the people that behind the scenes, because I'm a behind the scenes type of girl. So all of those people that they get to be behind the scenes and make that front scene look so great, that's who I want to work with, for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. And we work with a few people.
We have.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, you decided to open up your own business. What was it that made you take the leap from working to being an entrepreneur?
Like I said, there was a point in my life where I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
And it was getting so vague that I just didn't know. It was just almost disappearing on me what I wanted to do. And then when my son became 18 and then, my daughter started to get a little older, I just kept thinking, what is it that I want to do? And photography was always there. I just didn't know how to formulate that thought. Yeah. So having gone to Photo Uno and to school, they had a studio available in the school. And I was like, wow, this is really cool to kind of get that space and And so I made that happen. We made that happen, and it was great. It was really great because I had no idea what I was doing. But then I chose a lot of people that were stepping up like I was stepping up, and I had an opportunity to meet people like you and learn a lot. So yeah, we took it from there, and look where we are now.
How long was it from when you went to Photo Uno till you started the business?
A year.
A year?
Yeah.
Wow. So you jumped right into it.
Yeah. There was a plan already.
Yeah.
There was a plan. Like once I went to the school, I was like, this is going to take off. I'm going to make this take off. I don't know how, I don't know when, where's it going to be? How's it going to do it? But I'm going to do it. And so happy that I had the support to do it. Yeah.
Well, that would say that was the very first professional studio I got to work out of. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you. Shout out to Jess Hayes.
Shout out to Jess Hayes. She made that happen. She made a lot of things happen in that.
Yeah, she did. Actually. She did. And we got a lot of work done.
Yeah.
A lot of positive, wonderful things in our history because of it.
For sure. Magazine covers.
Videos,
music videos.
Yeah, amazing. Who were some of the photographers that you worked with besides myself?
So I had one of my mentors that I love his work, so I'm going to mention him first, which was Patrick Harris Photography.
Okay.
Patrick is great. Hans Alcindor, which is another amazing photographer. I met him at a wedding and chased him with a Polaroid camera. Wow. Thank you for dealing with me when I first started photography. He was great. Chris, which is another great photographer. Brianna Rollier, who's another videographer and photographer there. So I had a couple. Jabbar Campbell, which was, primary person to work with, helped me open the studio, helped me pick out material. So without him, it really couldn't have happened the way it happened. So thank you, Jabbar.
How... I know you were excited to open up the studio, but how stressful was the process of putting it all together?
I think the excitement overtook the stress.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I had Jabbar that helped me out, and he kind of was like, it needs to go to B&H, and this is where you do. And so I think I was stressing him out because I was like, we need to go to B&H and find out, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So he was a great big help. So the excitement definitely overdid the stress. The stress began when it started to become a real business. You got to pay the rent, and you got to pay the light, and you got to make sure it stays active and promoting. And so that was the stressful part.
Yeah. Okay. So, trying to keep the business afloat is something that, anybody would be stressed over, but you did have some magic moments in the studio.
Absolutely.
What are some memories you have of it?
Well, we had a small part of a music video.
Okay.
We had Shop Mano with you, and we made the cover of Fella Magazine.
Yep.
Right. We had some of the females from Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah. Okay. It was it Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, it was Love and Hip Hop.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop. We also had some of the stars. One of the stars from Power.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool.
Was it the little girl?
It was the little girl from Power.
Yeah, I think I don't think I was a part of that photo shoot, but I remember you mentioned it to me.
She was there. Mm-hmm. So I had the opportunity of meeting one of a rapper that I had looked up to during my time, which I had worked at one time with Riga, so it was like pretty cool, and Busta Rhymes. And so I also got to meet Jesus, I'm forgetting her name right now. That's really bad. It's probably got to start that over.
That's all good. That's all a part of it.
What's her name? Jesus. Oh my God.
Well, we'll get back to that. She'll tell you.
Some hip hop artists.
Some hip hop artists.
That was pretty cool.
So yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed shooting Mano. That was a little nerve wracking because he has a reputation, of wilding out on people.
Yeah, but he was really sweet.
Yeah. No, but he was really nice. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope because I actually listened to his music, so it's different to like take pictures of someone that you listen to all the time.
He was very polite and very much a gentleman and very sweet, So like I was okay with that shoot.
That was dope. Then we had the other cover we shot was My Son.
My Son.
Yep.
Sweet. Super educated, right? A really great conversationalist, and was able to articulate his thoughts really well. So it was an educational visit, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was dope. And he went on that. He went on a run of. It was right before the BLM movement then we captured those photos right before he became like an advocate for all of that.
Yeah,
which was kind of dope.
That was pretty great. You know, I was following him after that a little bit more, and so he's really one of a kind.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't follow the crowd, I guess. You know, everybody else is rapping about guns and drugs, and he's trying to educate and push some positive messages.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
So then you and I separated ways, yes. Right? I opened up my own space, but I stopped doing photography. You know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
I knew that you were still doing Made for Kings, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that you stopped doing photography.
Yep.
Why?
Just because the opportunities weren't presenting themselves anymore, and I was getting more video work. So I just focused on the video and the podcasting and everything. How about you after that? How was things going?
Photography has always been like, you know, one of those things. You know, you in this industry, you have fast moments and booked and busy moments, and then you have some slow moments. And so my slow moments, I just take advantage of it and just kind of do more editing and just kind of learn about editing, because photography and editing go hand in hand, like very much so. So you can take a great picture, but if you don't edit it the right way and define a style, it kind of gets lost. So those are my slow moments. I just focus on editing.
Okay. So you focused on the editing. You just asked me this question. I focused on the video, but I also kind of felt like I needed to learn more in photography. I felt like some of the experiences I had at your studio, it made me realize that I still had more to learn. So I took a step back.
Wow.
Yeah, because I felt like some of the photographers that you were working with, I would look at their work. I was like, God, this guy's amazing. You know, and I look at your pictures like, wow, my pictures look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's the editing. It's lighting and it's a great camera, but it's the editing.
Yeah, you did walk me through a few. You gave me some clues as to how to edit better with the raw images.
Right.
Yeah.
And some lighting is really important, you know, and color is important, and so. Finding your style is important for me. Like I told you before, my niche is to make sure my pictures are saturated with good color, and are really sharp. So I'm one of those people that looks at Instagram and blows up the picture. Yeah. And if your picture is blurry, I'm like, oh, whatever. But if your picture's sharp, I'm like, oh, okay, I can check out your work.
Do you feel it matters what you're shooting with, or it doesn't matter as long as you're a good photographer, you can make something happen with whatever camera you're working with?
I don't think it matters what you shoot with. I think that you need to educate yourself on how to make that tool the best work the best for you. Yeah. You know, so it doesn't matter if you have a Sony or Canon, you know, an Olympus camera, you know, like it doesn't matter as long as you know how that camera works and that lens, how they work together. You're gonna get a great picture. You know, I think lighting is the only outsource essential, but as far as tools, you can get a great picture with almost anything if you know how to use it.
Got you. So, you know, back to the studio, it was right before the pandemic hit.
Yes.
And how hard was that situation for you, being a photography studio during the pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic hit hard.
Yeah.
It hit hard. It hit so hard that I had to close the studio. Okay. The first studio I had in Long Island City. I had to close it because, you know, it was 4 months into the pandemic and it was still open, but I wasn't getting any bookings. And, you know, the business end, you have to pay rent, you still have to pay light. And so no one was able to go outside. So photography was, you know, a dead end thing like many businesses. Yeah. So I had to just take the loss and just kind of close up. So that was pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you didn't let that deter you, though.
Absolutely not.
You're still working as a photographer.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you got going now.
So right now I have some, like 2023, I started with a Times Square billboard. Okay. And so that was pretty cool.
That's dope. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have a couple of magazine covers coming out. So that was pretty good. I got into events more. Yep. I didn't know I was going to like events as much as I do. Okay. Actually. So a couple of projects coming on. I get more excited about my own projects than I do when people hire me, because I have more, you know, like I have more liberty to create when it's just my thing. Mm-hmm. When a client wants it, sometimes it's like very, you know, very much, this is what I want, this is what I expect. So, but still happy that I get booked. Yeah,
it's always good to get booked, but I understand completely. It's like when I do a mural And if it's a mural that I'm doing for myself, I enjoy it more because it's more my creative.
Yeah.
I feel like you're working with someone else is more rigid because you have to stick to their parameters.
Yeah, you have like strict lines and guidelines, and you have to fit in that box that they put you in, right? So I don't do well with fitting in a box.
No.
So no, no, I don't. Do well.
I don't take orders too well either.
Yeah, I just you know, that's kind of why I liked having.
When they tell you, when your client's like, I don't like this and that, and you might think to yourself like, well, what do you know?
You know, like I don't think what do I know, but I'm thinking, wow, this person really doesn't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
like you know, like this person has no idea what they're talking about. Like you know, I have great clients, and then I have clients that I have the liberty of saying no to because it really just jeopardizes the art that I want to give them. So I have said no because of those things.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to say no to save your sanity too.
Yeah.
Can you tell right off the bat if a client is going to be a pain in the ass?
Yes. 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 It goes in the communication when you're doing the consultations and, you know, you're kind of talking to the person and, you know, asking them, what are you looking for? What do you want to do? What's your vision? What's the, you know, you can tell. You can tell on how they express themselves about that. If they're going to be a little bit, you know, more high end and much more demanding than others, for sure.
I agree.
I'm scared of those.
I look out for the red flags.
Yeah.
But you said you had a billboard. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I did notice, you didn't mention it. You were at the Met Gala, right?
I was.
How was that?
Insane. Insane. I actually took a chance because I had a couple of friends that had the Met Gala passes to take photos on the red carpet. Yeah. And I unfortunately did not get the pass. Okay. I had applied late for it, so I wasn't able to get in. But I was there supporting my friends, and I was there with the camera, just kind of making sure. So I was throwing lenses to people to go do things, and that was insane. Like I had done Fashion Week. I've done Fashion Week for 3 years, and so Fashion Week is nuts. But this was something that, like this piece, I had no idea about, you know. But it was an experience, and I plan to be there next year.
You heard it here first. She might be there next year.
Yeah.
Why was it so crazy, the Met Gala?
Because you have 1,000 photographers in one spot.
Yeah.
And so you want to get your focal and you want to get your camera ready, and then you have your camera here, but then so does this guy here, so does this guy there. Or you have the right picture and this person's flash is right up there. Yeah. So when you're taking a picture, they're taking a picture and your picture is blindsided. It's completely out. So
it is.
Some of my friends' photography was like completely out of whack, and they're great photographers because other people's flashes were going on at the same time. And they're the artists and the stars that walk the red carpet, they do stay there for a few minutes, but you've got like maybe 2 to 3 minutes to shoot them and they're gone. Yeah. So you have to go fast.
Who were some of the biggest names that you saw that night that you actually got to take a picture of?
Well, I didn't take pictures like that. I took pictures more of the crowd than like the BTS of it rather than the actual stars. So no, I didn't get to shoot anybody.
But you saw some people.
Yes, I did see some people. So that was pretty good.
Name a few of the people you saw.
Some of the actors from the ER version, you know, of shows. I saw some of them. Meredith, I did see Meredith there. Who else did I see? I got to see the corner of this is gonna be so funny, of Blake Lively when she turned. I got to see her hair. It was great.
She whipped it on you.
I was like, where is she? Like, where's her face? And you know, and I want to see her face and her skin and everything because I'm such a girl's girl like that. But you know, I got to see that. Other were just regular movie actors that I got to see. So yeah.
Yeah, that event is a huge event, and people, they get all decked out for it. They get crazy.
Jared Leno with the cat.
Yeah,
I did see that. That was really good.
Oh, he was a cat.
He was the cat.
So didn't the female rapper, she came looking weird too, didn't she?
Who was the female rapper that came?
Doja Cat.
Oh, Doja Cat. Well, she had the whole. Yeah, right. The whole thing in her face. Was that it?
I think that was it.
I got to see the cat.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that was pretty cool.
That's funny. So, you know, you're right. Also, just to rewind, you're talking about how crazy it gets. I call it like the pit. It's the photographer pit. When you do, have you ever been in like a drawing of a show
Yeah. So you do Fashion Week, and when they're inside and they're in a ballroom, for example, the models are walking down the runway, and you are, for example, from that distance over here, you're on this end with like 10 different photographers,
and you're like battling for the space.
You're battling for the space, you know. So you want to use like a telephonic lens, and you want to use a different lens, and again, it's the same battle. It's like, do you have the edge? Did someone just push you? Did someone's flash just go over you? Did this guy just grab the same picture I grabbed, and where is he gonna post it, and where am I gonna post it? And so it becomes that. Yeah,
it's a battle in there. I did a concert for 105.1, and A Boogie was there, Fat Joe, and I was in the pit, and it was a battle.
It was.
Does your son play basketball?
No.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't. Man. Why?
No, let's say there's a technique in basketball when you try to grab a rebound. It's called boxing out.
Okay. What's that like?
You basically
you do this? Is that elbows?
You just stick your elbows out and you make sure nobody passes you.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try
it. It works phenomenally in the photographer's pit, you know?
You know what I do? I sit down.
Yeah.
I sit down on the floor and let everybody be high up, and then I just start shooting from below up until hopefully I grab a good angle.
I take the stance like that. A few elbows, and then people, they leave you alone.
Yeah, like, so I like doing the fashion shows, but I've tried to get booked more for behind the scenes so that I can see the makeup artists working, and I like to see the fashion designers putting on the clothes on the models, and so that's kind of like where I would love to be. Yeah. Because a lot of people are in the front scene and they're kind of, doing the runway show, but you get very few times to record or take pictures of the BTS. And that's what I'm really interested in, is how they come all about.
Yeah. Yeah, behind the scenes is dope. I like behind the scenes.
I love behind the scenes. I'm a behind the camera girl.
More laid back, not such. It's warfare in the photographer pit, though.
Yeah, it is. It is warfare. But to me, it's more interesting behind the scenes. Like, I want to see the girl come from no makeup to come to the editorial makeup to the runway makeup, and I want to see how that all works.
We got a chance to see that when we shot the Pink Panther click. Remember the ladies who had just came out of jail?
Oh my God, I did.
Yeah.
I think they did is it HBO or Netflix special?
So they've done pretty well for themselves. They all are like doing different things. They have Netflix, but not Netflix.
Is it Hulu?
Some of them have specials about their lives.
Yes.
Yep. And I think another one was like on BET with a show.
Right, one was telling her story though. I remember. I think Remy Ma was the hostess of the show, and then they were talking. I love her.
Yeah, shout outs to Remy.
I love Remy.
So that was interesting because we shot them when they first came home, and then a lot of them went on to do bigger things and stuff.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and we got to sit there while they did their makeup.
Yeah, they did it all. They did it all. They talked about it all. They were so open and they were so sweet. And they were excited to be there with us, and we were excited to be there with them. So that was just like, whoa.
That was excellent.
You. That was cool.
So you do makeup at all, or I know you said you're an artist.
My makeup artist would kill me. Okay, so shout out to Naya Beauty. She is my makeup artist that I work with very closely, and she is great at doing makeup. And yes, I collaborate with her in coming up with ideas. She executes them, and I kind of brainstorm them with her. So do I do makeup myself? That's a no. But do I come up with looks for makeup? Absolutely.
So you come up with the concept.
Yeah, I stay in my lane though. Stay in my lane. I can't do it without Naya.
I got you.
Yeah.
So what do you have coming up? What are you planning to do?
Right now, just some shoots, some basic shoots. I want to revamp my Instagram. Yeah. Instagram and me are not like besties. Like, I don't know what it is.
I just looked at your page. I was like, there's nothing here.
I just posted something today. Like, I take it off, I put it on, I take it off, put it on. Like, me and the algorithm are not besties. But I'm going to shoot for 2024 to try to make an impression on you guys. And I'm also not like social media for me, like especially Instagram. Like, I know how people keep their pictures there for a long time. I kind of don't use it as a Dropbox. I kind of use it like a yearly cycle of everything that's gone on the new, and then I erase and I want you to come up with new things.
Gotcha.
I don't think people scroll all the way down anymore. So
I'm surprised.
You'll get like the full year, and then by the end of the year you won't see it again unless you look at my website.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get a person, and I'm not judging them, but they'll like all your pictures from now to like the end, and
really. I don't know.
You really have a lot of time on your hands.
Like, I don't know. Like, I love Insta stories, and TikTok is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, that's what I do. I spend the year posting, and then by the end of the year, like this time, I erase it. And now you'll see new things from 2024. It's more like a yearly thing for me than a drop hit.
Well, I know, because I looked today and I was like, wait, she got rid of all her pictures. I was looking for clues so I could ask you questions. I'm like, I said, I got her on Facebook too. Let me check out Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is like, you can't erase Facebook. Yeah. Like, I don't. I got Instagram going directly to Facebook, but mostly I'm on Instagram. Yeah,
that's where I saw the pictures from the Met Gala on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I gotta ask her about that. I seen a Bad Bunny picture there.
It was crazy, but it was a fun day. Like, unfortunately, I did not get to take the pictures.
No.
And some of the pictures are borrowed from the photographer, but yeah.
So now you're not, you closed down the studio.
Yes.
But you're still doing photography under Deserie
Photography.
Deserie Photography.
Yes.
Tell me about Deserie Photography and your plans for it.
I plan to be more editorial, continuous, and fashion. I love the opportunity to work with designers, fashion designers, especially upcoming fashion designers, because I think with fashion, the vision is different, constantly changing. And that's kind of how I am with photography. Like, I notice my growth every year more and more as far as what do I like, you know? So fashion designers would be like my main goal. Some more BTS behind the scenes. I love that. And honestly, events make me laugh all the time. Like, I crack up by the end of the night. So more events, sure.
What are some of your favorite events? Because there's different ones. There's like parties, there's weddings.
Oh, weddings for sure.
Yeah.
Anything with a party in it, party word in it is my favorite. You know, I love it when guests come in and they're so, like, you know, they're poshed up and they're all fixed up and everybody's like, hi, nice to see you, right? And then, like, you know, 2 hours into the event, they've had a couple of drinks and they're like, yeah, take a picture. And, you know, they're like, or they're dancing on the dance floor and you would think, wow, this person doesn't dance. And then they break out the craziest moves. So the candids are pretty cool. So, yeah, you know, you end up dancing and taking pictures. So, like, who doesn't like to kind of dance and have fun at an event? So, yeah.
I like the weddings. You get free food sometimes. I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah. I always get fed in my events.
I've been to a few events where they're like, you're just shooting today.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not nice,
guys.
Nice. Yeah.
Let your photographer have a break, at least 30 minutes. Like, who wants to take pictures of them eating? Like, I know I don't want you to catch me all dressed up with lipstick eating a burger. Like, don't take a picture of that.
No.
So, feed your photographer, guys.
No, but there's some people out there that are like, you're not here to eat. You're here to take pictures.
I am happy I have never encountered a client like that. All of my clients are amazing. And all of my future clients are going to be amazing. So, yeah. Yep.
You hear it. You treat your photographers better.
Yeah, treat them well. Yeah, they're going to make sure your pictures come out great and in good timing. And everybody needs a lunch break, especially if you're shooting for like 6 to 8 hours an event. I mean,
yeah, because they run for a long time.
For real, events are anywhere between 6 to 8 hours
after they finish.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours. You have to shoot, you know, before the wedding as the groomsmen and the bride are getting ready, and you know, the wedding party, and then you have to shoot the family, and then you have to get the candidates during the party, the ceremony.
It's a lot of work.
It's 6 to 8 hours. Like, legally, you're supposed to feed me. And let me have a drink.
Yeah.
Like, come on, be nice, guys. Be nice. So,
you don't want to have too much to drink, though.
If you hire him, be nice, because to me, my people are nice.
So let me ask you this too. How about any crazy requests? Have you had any clients call you and ask you like, I want you to shoot me butt naked at the crack of dawn?
For sure.
What's
and
the
I love them.
Let me tell me about your craziest photo shoot.
So I have had a photo shoot where a lovely couple has decided to embrace themselves in an intimate setting, and they wanted to take pictures. Yeah. And I was like, well, my first rule is I'm not going to join. Okay. I'm not going to join. And my second rule is I will stay there for the allotted time, and then I will sneak out. You don't have to say goodbye. Just leave the door open. It makes me feel safer so I can walk in and walk out. But I think that's been the craziest shoots I've done, and they've come out really artistically beautiful. And I was I did it for the first time, super nervous, super freaked out a little bit. Yeah. But then when I saw what I saw, it was so beautiful, and the images that I was able to catch were so artistic that they loved it. And it was a black and white photography shoot, so that was like really nice. I didn't have to worry about color and lighting too much as much as I normally do. So that's crazy. I think what I turn down is when I'm about body positivity. So whenever I get a client that wants to shoot but doesn't want to look like their most authentic self, or at least negotiate on the authenticity of what they look like, then I can't do that.
So you had them come and say, I want you to edit this out and smooth out my skin.
I don't mind removing any scars or acne or stretch marks that women we all have, right? We all have those. Even men have those, right? What I do mind, I think, is when you want to go from X amount of weight to X amount of weight, and then that's what we call liquefying. And so that's a lot of liquefying. And so there's a lot of people who do it. Those people who sell pills and who sell weight loss regimens. They put on a pound of a 300-pound person, all of a sudden it's a 100-pound person wrapped around. That's a lot of liquefying. And so some can do it great. I just choose not to do it.
Choose not to. I hear you. I respect that. And that's your decision. That's where you don't want to go.
Yeah. I think there's beauty in everyone and in every curve and in every scar. And so there is some enhancement that you can make for sure. But when reality doesn't match the picture, it becomes a little bit, it just makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense to you.
Yeah.
I got you. Who are some of your idols in photography?
Wow.
Like, who would you say you look up to?
I have always been an Annie Leibovitz type of person. Okay. She is a photographer that she doesn't believe that it's her responsibility to make the subject excel in a picture. It's the subject's responsibility to show what they want to show. So that has always been one of those biggest things for me. The Jack Bridgelands of the world, I love that. The Patrick Harrises of the world, I love them. But there's quite a few photographers, the Riris of the world. I love her work too. So there's a lot of photographers that I admire, and I admire them also at different stages that I'm in. So that's kind of where I noticed the growth coming in.
Well, how would you define your current stage of photography?
At this moment, vivid and in color. I used to look for images that were like super perfect, everything in focus, even the person had to have the perfect expression, you know, and now I've kind of lost that perfect type of picture. And now I'm lost in the imperfect pictures. And so I think the imperfection makes the perfection for me right now. So that's where I'm at.
I like that.
Hey, good.
The imperfect makes the perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I think confidence really is what's really selling me right now.
I have a buddy of mine that I paint with, and that's something he said to me one time. Because when I would paint, I wanted every line to be perfect. Yeah. And then he was saying, but that makes it look off. And I didn't understand it for a while. But now, but his work is amazing. And as I analyzed his work, then I understood the way he's having fun with his lines and not making them perfect. They're adding more depth and structure in some way.
They add more character in the picture.
More character, yep.
Like some of the pictures you can see, like there's a lot of bokeh in the pictures. And I didn't really like bokeh at first. I used to like everything sharp, including the back. And now I'm getting more into the bokeh pictures. And so with editorial, I kind of liked, the perfect poses. And now the most imperfect poses, the most unmatchy clothes, the most vivid makeup is what's making my eyes light up. So growth.
Got you. Do you plan on writing a book or releasing a photography book, anything like that? You know what?
I think that when I decide to put the camera down and it really be one of those things that I'm just like, okay, this is it for me. I definitely plan to do a book, and it's not that I'm going to sell for people to see. And of course, I'd probably put it online for people who do want to sell, but it's really so that my children have a book to look back at the things that drove their mom and what really made me passionate.
So you're basically never going to drop a book?
No, I'm gonna drop a book.
You're not
but
putting the camera
but
down.
maybe for I don't know, not for a while.
That's like me saying, "Oh, I'm gonna stop painting walls." That's not gonna happen.
No, like
just drop the book.
One of my dreams is to take pictures and to travel just to take pictures. Like to spend a year of just taking pictures, and it could go from anything from fashion to like agricultural pictures and to landscapes a little bit. But yeah, I think that I'm gonna put a book of my greatest hits, so to speak.
Have you traveled anywhere that you took some wonderful pictures that you're proud of?
Italy.
Italy?
When I went to Italy, I took some great pictures there. And it was candid pictures.
Yeah.
So, you get to see a lot of, just travelers there. You also get to see like home people. And so they wear a lot of their handkerchiefs, and you see a lot of elderly ladies, and they're selling, and they have like nice cobblestone streets, and their homes are really humble homes.
What part of Italy did you go to?
We went to Rome, and that was amazing. We went to Sicily, and that was beautiful. So that was really nice. And Spain, the same thing. In Madrid in Spain, that was pretty cool. We on Sorrento in Italy was really nice. Fashionable. Yeah. So
She said fashionable.
I mean, I never had really seen the whole, super tan, tighties, bathing suit in men until I went to Sorrento.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. But it was a vision.
All right.
It was a vision, but I got a great black and white picture.
So when you
with
say
one of those
tan and
guys.
super tight, you're talking about the Speedos?
Oh yeah, Speedos, like
very
super,
European.
Yeah, very European style. But it turned out to be such a great black and white picture. Like it would be a postcard. Gotcha. So those are one of the pictures that I plan to have as part of the book that I would make for my children.
I love it. I would love to visit Italy. When I think of Italy, I think about the architecture and the paintings.
It's walking in art.
Yeah.
It's literally walking in art. Like everywhere you go, it's so beautiful.
And history.
And so much history. And the stones, the buildings are made of stones. And so you have a place to just kind of walk into just a cultural place. And the people are so nice. Yeah. And everybody has the best food. So it's up to you who's the best, right? Because everybody has the best food. So yeah, definitely go.
Yeah, I got to make that happen. I want to go see the Sistine Chapel.
Oh, nice. We went to see the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
I was in and out of the Vatican in an hour because that tour can really
Yeah.
And I think I probably have the world's greatest record for going in and out of the Vatican.
Like, I'm not
I took pictures, even of the picture of David. I think that's legal now.
Is it?
It is legal.
To take a picture of the David?
Picture of David's statue is legal. You can't do it, but I have it.
That's crazy.
It is nuts crazy. I have a lot of pictures of the Vatican.
I'm trying to figure out why they would make that illegal.
I think I'm incriminating myself, but yeah. I have a lot of pictures of the Vatican.
She doesn't have any pictures of it.
No, I don't have any pictures. I lied.
They're all AI generated.
Thank you, Google.
Let's talk about that before we go. How do you feel about AI and people using it for to fake for photos and all of that?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not a style that I prefer. I take editing very serious. I take photography very serious, and so I want authenticity.
Yep.
And so creating images through AI is not really for me.
Yeah.
But I have seen some beautiful images, and I think that if people can just be honest about it, right? If you can just say created by AI or, enhanced by Photoshop, a beta, that would be great because it gives people the wrong idea. Yeah. It gives people the idea that they can look that perfect or they can look that sharp and it's just not realistic at some points, and also it makes photographers work harder because now they're like, hi, yeah, you just took this picture. Can you Photoshop me into this? And can you add this? And can you do that? No. No, we can't because it takes hours to, you're doing hours at a shoot and then you're doing hours. People don't know how long it takes to really edit a picture and make it, really well, let alone AI may make it easier, but no. So the answer is no for me.
All right, I hear you. I'm on the fence for it. As a graphic designer, is worrisome because now they can basically go to these programs and get images without you.
Yeah.
I think you have to differentiate yourself with your style.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if you have a unique style that can't be copied, then you'll be fine.
What's your style?
Me?
Let's put him on the, chopping block right now. What's
wow.
your style?
I guess, I mix in graffiti, street art,
okay,
and anime.
So do you choose video over photography, or do you choose photography over video?
Oh, you're talking about my video style?
Yeah.
So I don't really have a video style, because
Okay.
I've been mostly doing podcasts.
Okay.
But when it comes to my art, I stay around, because I'm a painter.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm a street art, anime, graffiti mix.
Okay.
And AI hasn't been able to master that yet. It looks very
Not
fake.
yet.
It looks very fake.
Not yet,
you can
but
tell
it can do
difference.
the coloring, right? It can do the coloring, right? The filling of it.
You can see it doesn't look authentic.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it doesn't look authentic. So I think so far we're good.
I don't think any of it looks authentic. I think that if you really look at the picture, it does look fabricated by a computer. And that's the difference between a real photograph and an AI, is that you can actually see the photograph,
Some of it is confusing. If you have a trained eye, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it also depends the genre of what you're doing. Like graphic art is totally different.
Yeah.
A landscape's are totally different, but when you're doing fashion and editorial, I think you can tell when someone added, something to the back, or when you cut out the subject and put her somewhere else. You can definitely tell. I hate doing that, by the way. I don't do it. I won't do it. So.
It pays good money though.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I don't,
Excuse me.
Some people do it for the money. Some don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I shoot a lot of people for free, actually. Okay. And I know that's a dreaded word in the industry, but I do, because I love the art so much. I'm able to do that. But it's some people do it for the money, and that's their career. So shout out to them for doing it that way. And they do a great job.
Yeah, she didn't say that though. You didn't hear the free part. Nah.
No, I love.
If you want to hire her,
models.
Pay up, okay? She's a great photographer.
I do have a fee, and I do charge, but there are some times where I love working with models. One of the most exciting things for me is when I work with someone who's never done it before. Yeah. Who's never seen themselves the way I'm going to make them look. Mm-hmm. And then as it happens during the shoot, like behind the scenes, they're getting their makeup done, they have their hair done. I pick out their outfits, and then they're in front of the camera. They're like, I've never looked like that, let alone when I start shooting them and then show them their pictures. I rekindle a whole marriage over that. So, yeah.
So you work with a mix of people who are professional models and some who aren't.
Absolutely. I will shoot any subject that wants to step out of their comfort zone and has a love for fashion, editorial type of photography. Yeah. Gotcha. Or artistic photography.
So if somebody wanted to hire you, where would they go? How would they get in touch with you?
They would definitely go to Instagram.
Okay.
Even though they won't see any pictures right now, but you will 2024 at Deserie. Mm-hmm. You can go to my website. You can email me. It's info@deseriephotography.com, and you can send me DMs. I do get DMs over that. All right. So
that's how I got in touch with her on the DM. I'm like, yo, hey, how you been?
I like DMs. I love texting in DMs. I don't know what it is.
It had been such a long time.
I know. Yeah. It shouldn't be this long, though.
No, it shouldn't.
It really shouldn't. I'm going to pay more attention to that.
I thought of you too, because I was thinking of, because I'm a fashion designer. I have some clothing that I've been putting on rappers lately, and I want to do some photo
girl.
shoots.
You hear that?
I want to do some photo shoots with you.
Yeah. Hello. So I'm the only one
to do it. We're gonna build on that. We're gonna build more
for sure.
Well, I want to thank you for coming out tonight in the cold.
Thank you for having me.
Sitting down with me and having this wonderful conversation.
It was great. It was great to see you and have this conversation.
Yeah, great to see you. And we're going to be working together. I'm going to hit you up.
I hope so. So stay tuned, guys. You hear him, right?
Stay tuned.
You heard him, right?
To the sit down. We will be back next year. This is our second to last episode for the year. So we'll be back sometime next year. I don't know yet. I want to take some time to focus on the clothing. So.
And I'm going to hold him to his promise that I'm going to be the one that shoots his clothing.
Yeah, she's going to be shooting for me. But make sure you hit subscribe so you can follow all the wonderful things that we will be doing.
And follow me at Instagram at Deserie.com. And sorry that you don't see any pictures just yet, but you will.
You want to give any last shout outs to anybody?
To everybody that has worked with me, I want to give a shout out to Bodacious Bejewels She's one of my longest clients. Harlem Fame, check them out because they just did some luggage with Valise de Dance. So check them out. My Patrick Harris, my Jabbar Campbell, my Made for Kings, my Hans Alcindor, my Chris, all my original Pixel de Moi photographers. Shout out to you guys. And thanks again for having me.
Well, thank you for coming out tonight. It was good to talk to you. Peace, everybody.
Bye.